President-elect Joe Biden moving forward with his transition today, meeting with state governors to form a pandemic plan. This as President Trump maneuvers through the legal system in hopes of reversing the election's outcome. And we just learned earlier tonight that officials in Georgia confirmed President-elect Joe Biden's victory there in the presidential election. NewsNation's national political correspondent Dean Reynolds is live in the newsroom tonight with the latest.
Marnie, the president today intensified his effort to challenge the results of the election, sending his lawyer out to argue that widespread fraud is the reason he lost, and inviting Republican lawmakers from a state he is contesting to a meeting at the White House tomorrow. The president's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, told reporters there is abundant evidence of vote fraud in states he lost, like Michigan.
You know how many affidavits we have in the Michigan case? 220 affidavits. Those are people who give affidavits, report an incident that under any other circumstances would have been on the front page of all your newspapers if it didn't involve the hatred that you have, irrational, pathological hatred that you have for the president.
On Pennsylvania, same viewpoint.
Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, the margin of victory now for Biden, which is not a victory, it's a fraud.
While the Trump legal team has suffered a number of setbacks, their efforts may at least be spreading doubts. A Reuters Ipsos poll this week found half of Republicans believe the election was rigged. But alleging fraud is different from proving it. There has been no evidence of widespread election fraud in any state, according to officials at both the state and federal levels. So the president's move today to invite Republican lawmakers from Michigan to the White House suggested he might be pursuing a parallel strategy, one which, in theory, would involve Republican-controlled legislatures ignoring Mr. Biden's victory in their states, picking their own pro-Trump delegations for the Electoral College, and having them award their electoral votes to the president. If that is the strategy, the president would have to be very persuasive, because both Michigan lawmakers meeting him tomorrow, House Speaker Lee Chatfield and Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey, have already indicated the state legislature will not appoint its own slate of electors. Mr. Biden is ahead in Michigan by more than 150,000 votes. Today in Wilmington, the president-elect reacted to the White House news.
What the president's doing now is be another incident where he will go down in history as being one of the most irresponsible presidents in American history. It's just out of not even within the norm at all. There's questions whether it's even legal.
Now, Mr. Biden held a virtual meeting this afternoon with members of the National Governors Association in which he discussed the pandemic and the importance of mask mandates, testing, and tracing. And he told reporters he has selected his Treasury Secretary and will unveil his choice just before or just after Thanksgiving. Rob?